Hello Pasangla, Vanakkam and welcome. This is your master teacher Nivetha making bio learning very simplified just for all of you guys. So India's biggest scholarship test is back, 𝒚𝒐𝒆𝒄𝒄𝒆𝒊𝒕𝒚. It's happening in centers near you on 9th and 10th of December. So in the exam nariya rewards, nariya benefits, and one of the most important thing is you get admission to our flagship offline program with up to 100% scholarship. So soon Vedantu is going to be coming in your cities, in your places. You can go learn offline. Okay, so either tavara you'll also be getting, all the top rank holders will be getting a fully funded 5-day trip to a space research center. Either tavara you will also be getting exciting rewards, drones, smartwatches, telescope, microscope, nariya gifts. Okay, ellarkagayum kaathirukku. All those who write your offline exam have an assured gift from us. So why are you still waiting? Please do register yourself. All the details are given in the description below. Please do check it out. Yes. Now nama session kulla polam. So what were we discussing in last class? So we studied glycolysis, we studied the link reaction, we studied the Krebs cycle. So இப்போ Krebs cycle ஆனப்புறம் we are going to study something very important. We are going to end this chapter in today's session. Electron transport chain படிக்க போறோம், இல்ல electron transport system ன்னு கூட சொல்லுவோம். ATP synthesis படிக்க போறோம். Respiratory balance sheet, amphibolic pathway and respiratory quotient. So come on, without any further delay, let's get into the session. So session kulla poradhukku munadi I want everyone to like this video. Okay, let's get into the session. What, where and why about, it's all about electron transport system, electron transport chain. Okay, so what is this electron transport chain or electron transport system? So it's a complex of proteins. Okay, it is a complex of proteins, okay, through which electrons are transported pasangla. Okay, very simple, electron transport. Okay, electrons are transported which helps in synthesis of ATP. Okay, இதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியமான definition. It is a definition of your electron transport system. Where is this electron transport system located? யாருக்கெல்லாம் ஆன்சர் தெரியும்? Where is electron transport system located? இது உங்க mitochondria, correct? So there is an inner membrane of mitochondria like this, which is folded into finger-like projections. They are called cristae. Okay, so your electron transport system is present in your inner mitochondrial membrane. Enga irukku pasangla? Inner mitochondrial membrane. So all of you, those who are watching this video, please get into the comment section, write down electron transport system, ETC or ETS is present in inner mitochondrial membrane. 4 marks in your NEET assured kedaikum in the question ketanga. Okay, Krebs cycle enga nadakudhu pasangla? Where does Krebs cycle take place? Anyone have any idea? It happens in the mitochondrial matrix. Okay, where does glycolysis takes place pasangla? It happens in the cytoplasm. So in the moonume rombo potent questions for your NEET exam. Why electron transport chain? Yen ivlo proteins involve aayirukku, yen ivlo process nadakudhu, with the only aim, okay, it is going to oxidize. Why in the question can answer theriyuma? It is going to oxidize your NADH plus H plus and FADH. Okay, and this oxidation of NADH and FADH will basically result in ATP synthesis pasangla. That is the reason why electron transport chain or electron transport system occurs. Okay, இதை பற்றி நம்ம இன்னும் டீட்டெயிலாக படிக்கலாம். எங்கே இருக்குது, என்ன அதோட ஃபங்க்ஷன்ன்றதெல்லாம் இன்னும் டீட்டெயிலாக படிக்கலாம். So this is your mitochondria pasangla. Mitochondria is a double membrane structure. It has an outer membrane and it has an inner membrane. So you can see this is your outer membrane, this is your inner membrane. Idu enadhu? Inside your inner membrane, it is your matrix. Okay, and the space between the outer membrane and inner membrane is called as intermembrane space. Okay, in the inner membrane la da enoda electron transport system embed ஆயிருக்குனா என்ன அப்படியே உள்ள arrange ஆயிருக்குன்னு அர்த்தம். Okay, so here you can see how many complexes are there: complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4 and complex 5. I want everyone to put it in the comment section. How many complexes are present in your electron transport system? 5. Ellaru 5 in comment la eludunga. Yes. Along with that, you also have 2 carriers nu solluvaanga. Electron carriers nu solluvaanga. Okay? 5 complexes and 2 carriers constitute your electron transport system. நிறைய பேர் electron transport system ரொம்ப கஷ்டம்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க. Okay, so please stay with me just another 15 minutes. I'll make ETC very very easy. Okay, first point எல்லாரும் அவங்க நோட்புக்ல எழுதுங்க இல்ல கமெண்ட் செக்ஷன்ல எழுதுங்க. Okay, what is the number of complexes? 5. Okay, what is the number of carriers? 2. Where is this present? Inner membrane of mitochondria. அதுதான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். MCQ questionல கண்டிப்பா கேட்கலாம். And coming to CBSE, this is a potent 5 mark question in your board exam. Okay, let's now continue. Okay, the complex pair என்னன்னு படிக்கலாம். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப important. Complex 1, NADH dehydrogenase. You can see this is your complex 1. It's called NADH dehydrogenase. Complex 2, we call it as succinate dehydrogenase. என்னன்னு சொல்றோம் பசங்களா? Succinate dehydrogenase ன்னு சொல்றோம். Complex 3, cytochrome BC1 complex. BC, ABC இருக்குல்ல, அது மாதிரி BC complex. Complex 4, cytochrome C oxidase. நிறைய பேருக்கு complex 3 க்கு complex 4 க்கு confusion வரும். Okay, complex 3 ன்றது என்னது? It's a BC1 complex. Okay, complex 4 ன்றது என்னது? It's an oxidase. And complex 5 is ATP synthase. இதுதான் உங்களோட ATP synthase. Okay, so இந்த ATP synthase-க்கு வேற நிறைய பேர் இருக்கு. We call it as F0F1 particle. Okay, we call it as oxysomes ன்னு கூட சொல்லுவோம் இத. It is also called Racker's particle. இது 4 பேருமே ஒரே ஒரு பேர் தான். Okay, Racker's particle. We'll study about complex 5 a little later. Complex 5 is the one which is involved in ATP synthesis pasangla. So 4 complex. All of you repeat with me. NADH dehydrogenase, succinate dehydrogenase. ரெண்டுமே dehydrogenase. Complex 3 cytochrome BC1 complex. Complex 4 cytochrome C oxidase. Simple. So எல்லா காம்ப்ளெக்ஸும் எல்லாருக்கும் புரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நம்புறேன். இதை தவிர 2 கேரியர்ஸ் இருக்கு. They are going to help in carrying the electron. So நான் என்ன சொன்னேன்? Electron transport system. So electron will be transported from one complex to another complex, right? So it has to be transported via a carrier. Okay, and the carrier pair என்னன்னா you have ubiquinone. என்னதுப்பா? ubiquinone. அதை வந்து நம்ம ஷார்ட்டா UQ ன்னு சொல்றோம். இல்லாட்டி we also call it as cytochrome C. இது ரெண்டுமே என்ன பசங்களா? mobile carriers. So இப்போ passing the ball விளையாடுறீங்க கரெக்டா? The ball is passed from one person to another person, correct? So here the one which is helping in transport of electron is your carrier. அது ஏன் நான் mobile ன்னு சொல்றேன்னா because it shows movement within your mitochondria, inner membrane of mitochondria. Okay, so இதுதான் basic தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். என்னென்ன தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும்? Where is ETC? Inner membrane. What are the 4 complexes and what are the carriers? Okay, now let's get into the process. Okay, what is the purpose of electron transport system? Na sonna why? Because it is going to oxidize NADH and FADH2. Oxidation na enna pasangla? What is oxidation? I want an answer from everyone who is watching this video. 8th 9th lende padichittu irukom. Oxidation na enna? Oxidation is removal of hydrogen or addition of oxygen. Adhe reduction na enna? Addition of hydrogen, removal of oxygen. So all of you please note this point. Okay, the function or the purpose of electron transport system is to oxidize your NADH and oxidize your FADH. Oxidize na enna ago? NADH will become NAD plus H plus. அதே மாதிரி FADH என்ன? FADH2 என்ன ஆகும்? It will become FADH plus H. This is what I call it as oxidation pasangla. Any doubts still here? Okay, this is how it happens. Okay, எப்படி நடக்குது இதுன்றதா இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம். Now we are into the process. Okay, இங்க பாருங்க, இதுதான் உங்களோட inner membrane. எல்லாரும் இத முதல்ல புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. இது உங்களோட inner membrane. இது வந்து உங்க matrix of mitochondria. இது வந்து உங்க intermembrane space. இங்க வந்து உங்க outer membrane இருக்கும். Okay, first, what is the first complex pasangla? It is your NADH dehydrogenase complex. All of you please pay attention. Dehydrogenase na enna pasangla? It is an enzyme that brings about oxidation or reduction. Okay, enoda complex 1 la rendu center irukku, FMN and FES nu solli. Okay, FMN and FES. Okay, first of all, this NADH plus H plus is oxidized to NAD plus. Oxidize agamodhu enna agum? Electrons will be removed. Removal of electrons will happen. So you can see here, 2 electrons are passed, okay, to FMN. From FMN it is going to FES. From FES it is going to UQ. In the UQ ன்றது என்னது? It is a carrier. Okay, FMN to FES. FMN ன்றது flavin mononucleotide. Okay, FES ன்றது iron sulfur center. So your NADH dehydrogenase complex has 2 center. One வந்து FMN, இன்னொன்று வந்து FES. So first the electrons will pass to FMN. From FMN it will go to FES. Okay, from FES it will go to ubiquinone. இதுதான் உங்களோட first step. Okay, இந்த electrons எல்லாரும் ரொம்ப clear-ஆ புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. Electrons transport ஆகும்போது there are protons which are pumped from the matrix to the intermembrane space. எங்க இருந்து எங்கன்றது ரொம்ப முக்கியம். என்ன ஆகுது? When the electrons are transferred from the complex to the carrier, protons are simultaneously transported from the matrix into the intermembrane space. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். Okay, so simultaneously என்ன ஆகுது? electrons வந்து ஒரு complexல இருந்து இன்னொரு complex போகுது. அதே டைம்ல the protons na என்ன? H plus are being pumped from the matrix into the intermembrane space. That is the beauty of electron transport system pasangla. So my complex 1 is going to transport how many protons pasangla? 4 protons. Okay, I hope the very first step is very clear for you guys. Okay, now let's get into the second step. Second step enna pannuduna, ubiquinone irukla, inga vandu complex 2. இது வந்து என்னோட complex 1, இது வந்து என்னோட complex 2. What is my complex 2 pasangla? Succinate dehydrogenase. நேத்து ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? We studied in your Krebs cycle. Succinate is converted into fumarate. Correct? That is the complex. And the enzyme தான் என்னோட inner mitochondriaல இருக்கு. Okay, and this reduction of oxidation of FADH, okay, is also going to release electron. Those electrons are also going to be transported to your ubiquinone. இந்த ubiquinone என்ன பசங்களா? It is a carrier. Okay, இந்த டைம் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க, protons are not being pumped. Complex 2 does not pump any proton. Complex 1 எத்தனை protons pump பண்ணுது பசங்களா? 4 proton. Complex 2 எத்தனை protons pump பண்ணுது? 0 proton. They are not involved in proton transfer. Okay, I hope complex 1 and complex 2 is clear. So complex 1 will also pass the electrons to ubiquinon. Complex 2 also passes the electrons to ubiquinon separately. ரெண்டுமே தனித்தனியா பாஸ் பண்ணும். Okay, இப்போ இந்த electrons என்ன ஆகும்னா, they will reach your complex 3. Okay, you can see here. Ubiquinon is reduced. Okay, it will become UB semi-ubiquinon, UQH2. அதே மாதிரி இங்கேயும் reduce ஆகுது. Now it is going to your complex 3. Complex 3 என்றது என்னது? Cytochrome BC1 complex. இங்க என்ன ஆகுது? You have so many other centers. Cytochrome B இருக்கு, iron sulfur center இருக்கு, cytochrome C1 இருக்கு. Okay, so you can see here. Here, this time, 4 protons are being pumped from complex 3, from your matrix to your intermembrane space. Complex 1 pumps 4 proton. Complex 2 does not pump any proton. Complex 3 pumps 4 protons. Okay, so very simple. Passing the ball game mari da idu. Complex 1 will pass the electron to ubiquinon. Ubiquinon will pass those electrons to complex 3. Adhe mari complex 2 will pass the electrons to ubiquinon. Ubiquinon will pass the electrons to complex 3. Inga parunga, adhe mari da nadakudhu. Okay, now I have another carrier. What is that another carrier called? Cytochrome C. Okay, this cytochrome C is going to further carry the electron from complex 3 to complex 4. Okay, complex 3 ku complex 4 ku yaar pass pandra electron? Another carrier called cytochrome C. Okay, நிறைய பேருங்க, but if you learn it in an order, it's very easy to remember. Okay, இப்போ எங்க இருக்கு electrons? என்னோட electrons வந்து complex 4 வந்து reach ஆக போகுது. Okay, yeah, you can see here. என்னோட complex 4ல copper centers இருக்கு. Okay, it is made up of copper. இங்க என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா, ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம், this electrons are used to reduce my oxygen into water. A water molecule is formed at the end of your complex 4. Okay, so this will mark the end of electron transport chain. Okay, so electrons pass ஆகுதா? இங்க பாருங்க, electrons are transferred from cytochrome A, cytochrome A1, A3 and copper. You have copper centers and it is going to reduce my oxygen into water. ரொம்ப சிம்பிளான question கேட்கலாம். Where is water formed in electron transport system? Complex 4. Okay, இந்த டைம்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா protons are pumped from the matrix into the intermembrane space. எத்தனை proton பசங்களா? 2 proton. Okay, these 2 protons are going to be pumped from inside to outside. நிறைய பேருக்கு அந்த கன்ஃபியூஷன் இருக்கும், உள்ள இருந்து வெளிய பம்ப் பண்ணப்படுது. Okay, so what do you understand by the entire process? Electrons வந்து transfer ஆயிட்டே இருக்கு. Simultaneously you also see protons being pumped from the matrix to the intermembrane space. அவ்வளவுதான் electron transport system. Okay, so how many complexes? 4 complexes. So இந்த diagram மட்டும் எழுதி நீங்க எல்லாமே explain பண்ணி ஒரு 4-5 point கரெக்ட்டா எழுதினீங்கன்னா you will be understanding everything. Okay, இப்போ இங்க பாருங்க, you saw that complex 1 pumps how many proton பசங்களா? 4 protons. Complex 3 pumps how many protons பசங்களா? 4 protons. Okay, does complex 2 pump any proton? No, right? And you saw complex 4 also pumps 2 protons. So மொத்தத்துக்கு for every electron transport system 10 protons are being pumped. 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10. I repeat, for every electron transport system 10 protons are being pumped from the matrix to the intermembrane space. This is going to cause, protons pump ana, there is going to be a proton gradient. So, வெளிய வந்து நிறைய positive charge இருக்கும், உள்ள வந்து நிறைய negative charge இருக்கும் பசங்களா. Okay, this is going to cause an electrochemical gradient. Electron na enna? Charge. Chemical na enna? Protons. Gradient na enna? Difference. Okay, so the pumping of proton from the matrix into the intermembrane space causes an electrochemical gradient pasangla. This electrochemical gradient is going to drive the synthesis of ATP. நம்ம எப்படின்னு பார்க்கலாம். Okay, இதுதான் entire process இதுதான். Okay, I repeat, I'll just summarize it quickly. Okay, so this is your matrix. Okay, this is your intermembrane space and this is your inner mitochondrial membrane where your entire electron transport system is present. Complex 1 is your NADH dehydrogenase. So your NADH is oxidized into NAD+. Oxidation releases electron. Those electrons are passed through FMN, FES and then ubiquinone. So ubiquinone transports its electrons to complex 3. Similarly, you have complex 2 which is succinate dehydrogenase. Okay, there also the electrons are transported to ubiquinone. Now the electrons reach complex 3. From complex 3, electrons are carried to complex 4 via a second carrier. This is the first carrier, this is the second carrier called cytochrome C. Cytochrome C transports its electron to complex 4 which is cytochrome C oxidase, where your oxygen is reduced to water molecule. Okay, and now as and when electrons are being transported, protons are being pumped from the matrix into the intermembrane space. Okay, complex 1 pumps 4 proton, complex 3 pumps 4 proton, complex 2 does not pump any proton and your complex 4 pumps 2 proton. So totally 10 protons are being pumped from the matrix to your intermembrane space. So this pumping of proton is going to cause what pasangla? Electrochemical gradient pasangla. Okay, so gradient na enna? Outside it is going to be positively charged. Okay, inga veliyella romba positive charges irukum, ulla negative charge irukum. Ippo generally enna பண்ணுவாங்க? There has to be maintenance of your electrochemical gradient. ரெண்டு பக்கமும் equal charges கொண்டு வரணும். கரெக்ட்டா இல்லையா? அப்போ என்ன ஆகும்? The protons pass through your complex 5. You can see here the protons are passing through your complex 5 and it results in ATP synthesis. இத வந்து நம்ம oxidative phosphorylation ன்னு சொல்றோம். இல்ல you also call it as ATP synthesis. Illati we call it as 𝒚𝒐𝒖𝒓 hypothesis. So this process marks the end of your cellular respiration. Okay, இப்போ நம்ம இந்த ATP synthesis எப்படி நடக்குதுன்றத இன்னும் கிளியரா பார்க்கலாம். Okay, so first என்னென்ன தெரியணும் நமக்கு? glycolysis ஆன அப்புறம் என்ன நடக்குது பசங்களா? link reaction. Okay, link reaction ஆன அப்புறம் என்ன நடக்குது? Krebs cycle. Okay, Krebs cycle ஆன அப்புறம் என்ன நடக்குது? electron transport chain. Electron transport chain ஆன அப்புறம் என்ன நடக்குது? ATP synthesis. So your entire cellular respiration, this is the story of cellular respiration. Okay, so your cellular respiration constitutes all these processes. Okay, I hope all of you have understood this. Okay, நம்ம இப்போ இது வரைக்கும் பார்த்தோம் ATP synthesis இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் டீடைலா நம்ம பார்க்கலாம். Okay, yes, எவ்வளவு நல்லா கொடுத்திருக்காங்க பாருங்க. You can see the protons are being transferred from matrix to outside. Water molecule is synthesized. Now the protons are trying to come inside and ATP is synthesized. Okay, it's very interesting. First you have your inner membrane space. Okay, you have from the inner membrane you basically have your complexes. Protons are pumped from inside to outside. Okay, then you can see the formation of water molecule. There is an electrochemical gradient. Protons are pumped back inside and ATP is synthesized. Okay, இதுதான் நான் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் clear-ஆ உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே explain பண்ண போறேன். நான் already சொன்ன மாதிரி complex 5 நம்ம ATP synthase ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். இல்ல அத வந்து F1 F0 ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Okay, so you see here this F0. Okay, where is this F0? It is basically in your embedded in your membrane. Okay, so F0 is embedded. F0 எங்க இருக்கு பசங்களா? It is present in your inner mitochondrial membrane. Okay, and where is your F1? F1 is towards the matrix. நிறைய பேர் இப்படி imagine பண்ணிருப்பீங்க. Okay, it is towards the matrix. F1 is towards the matrix. Okay, இது ரெண்டுமே சேர்ந்தது தான் என்னோட ATP synthase. Okay, so இது என்ன space? This is your intermembrane space. Okay, என்ன actually ஆகும்ன்றத நான் குயிக்கா உங்களுக்கு சொல்றேன். I will use another color. So என்ன நடக்கும்னா, because of my electron transport chain, outside will be positively charged, inside will be negatively charged. I think all of you agree with this point. Okay, and this is going to cause enna pasangla electrochemical gradient. Okay, now this electrochemical gradient needs to be stabilized. Okay, adukkaga the protons, 2 protons are being pumped into my F0. Okay, so நீங்க வீட்ல blender பார்த்திருப்பீங்களா? இந்த கேக் எல்லாம் mix பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு hand blender யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்கல, அதே மாதிரி தான். Okay, இது வந்து ஒரு shaft. Okay, இங்க வந்து rotor இருக்கும். The movement of electron, listen to me very very carefully, the movement of electron in the F0 causes the rotation of F1. Okay, so F0 la electrons move ஆகும்போது the F1 will start rotating and that rotating of F1 produces ATP. Okay, so இப்போ current வந்து pass ஆகும் அந்த shaftல, அப்போ என்னோட rotor வந்து move ஆகும். அதே மாதிரி electrons will be passed through your F0 and your F1 will start rotating and that will cause the synthesis of ATP. இதனால தான் பசங்களா நான் வந்து மைட்டோகாண்ட்ரியாவை power house of the cell ன்னு சொல்றேன். Okay, நீங்க 8th 9th வரைக்கும் என்ன படிச்சிருப்பீங்க? Because they synthesize ATP. But this is the real way how they synthesize ATP. Okay, I repeat, movement of protons in the F0 causes the rotation of F1. Okay, and that is going to help in the synthesis of ATP. Synthesis of ATP னு ரொம்ப பெரிய process எல்லாம் கிடையாது. The ADP, okay, adenosine diphosphate combines with an inorganic phosphate to form ATP. அவ்வளவுதான். Okay, this is very very important. இத வந்து நான் என்னன்னு சொல்றேன்? I call this as 𝒚𝒐𝒖𝒓 hypothesis. இதே இது நீங்க வந்து photosynthesisலயும் படிப்பீங்க. இன்னொரு பேரும் இருக்கு இதுக்கு. இன்னொரு பேர் என்னது? Oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation. ஏன் இதை வந்து நான் oxidative phosphorylation ன்னு சொல்றேன்னா, this is because of oxidation of NADH and FADH. yes or no பசங்களா? electron transport chainல என்ன ஆகுது? NADH FADH oxidize ஆகுது. அது oxidize ஆகுறதுனால தான் என்னோட ATP synthesize ஆகுது. so நேத்து முந்தான கிளாஸ்ல நான் சொல்லியிருப்பேன், 1 NADH produces 3 ATPs ன்னு சொல்லி. அதோட ரீசன் வந்து இதுதான். Okay, because oxidation of NADH and FADH produces protons. Okay, and those protons are the one which is being pumped from the matrix into the intermembrane space, and that is going to cause a proton gradient pasangla. Onnonnu interlinked. Okay, illati இன்னொரு பேர் என்ன இதுக்கு? ATP synthesis. மூணுமே ஒரே விஷயம்தான். இந்த மூணுக்கு எக்ஸாம்ல கேட்டாலும் ஒரே ஆன்சர் தான் எழுதணும். 𝒚𝒐𝒖𝒓 hypothesis, oxidative phosphorylation, ATP synthesis. ஓகே, ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமான 5 mark question. Yes, you can see the same thing is being repeated here. இந்த F1 வந்து நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்றோம்? head piece ன்னு சொல்றோம். ஓகே, இதை நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்றோம்? it is an integral protein. ஏன் நான் வந்து இதை integral protein ன்னு சொல்றேன் பசங்களா? because it is embedded in my inner mitochondrial membrane. Okay, so this F0 is going to form a channel and the F1 is going to form a rotor. Rotor ன்னு ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Yes, you can see how beautifully it is happening. Protons are being pumped, ATP is being synthesized. For every 2 proton, இது வந்து ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். 2 proton pass ஆகும்போது ஒரு ATP synthesize ஆகும். Okay, it is going to balance your electrochemical gradient. Okay, nice picture it is. You can see proton concentration is more outside, inside it is less. So obviously the protons will move from outside to inside. So when the protons are moving inside, can you see the rotation of your F1, and that is going to cause your ATP synthesis. So ADP and PI ulla varudha, ATP vandu veliya poda. And why is it happening? It's because of your concentration gradient or proton potential. Adha nama enna solrom? Electrochemical gradient. This picture explains everything pasangla. Okay, I hope it's clear. ATP synthesis is simplified. Okay, yeah, I have a quick question for you. In mitochondria, proton accumulates in outer membrane, inner membrane, intermembrane space. So உங்களோட mitochondria quick-ஆ நான் இங்க வரைகிறேன். Okay, இது வந்து உங்களோட inner membrane of mitochondria. They're asking where is proton accumulating. பாருங்க, யாரெல்லாம் ஆன்சர் கரெக்டா சொல்றீங்கன்னு பாப்போம். The answer is intermembrane space. Okay, the proton moves from matrix. இங்க பாருங்க, இந்த previous pictureல காமிக்கிறேன். matrixல இருந்து வெளியே மூவ் ஆகும். Okay, அப்ப proton எல்லாம் எங்க accumulate ஆயிருக்கும்? They will be accumulated in the intermembrane space. இதை தவிர வேற எந்த கொஸ்டினும் கேட்க முடியாது. ஓகே, நான் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ற கொஸ்டின்ஸை மட்டும் கிளியரா படிச்சுட்டு போங்க. ஓகே, எஸ், யா. Cytochrome C is a small protein attached to. Cytochrome C ன்றது என்ன பசங்களா? It is basically a carrier. It is an electron mobile carrier that is present. அது எங்க attach ஆயிருக்குன்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க. It is attached to the outer surface of the inner membrane. So inner membrane ல outer surface இருக்கும், inner surface இருக்கும். Cytochrome C is attached to the outer surface of the inner membrane. Okay, yes. The last electron acceptor during ETS or ETC is who is accepting the electrons? O2, cytochrome A, cytochrome A2, cytochrome A3. இது நாலுல எது? Oxygen, right? I told you oxygen is reduced to form your water. Okay, here I have one more question. What is A? What is B? Okay, இது ஆன்சர் பண்ணீங்கன்னா போதும், எல்லாருக்கும் ATP synthesis புரிஞ்சதுன்னு அர்த்தம். A னா என்ன, B னா என்ன? What is A பசங்களா? It is your mitochondrial matrix. நான் சொன்னேன், இது வந்து matrix. இது வந்து உங்களோட inner mitochondrial or it is called perimitochondrial space or inner mitochondrial space ன்னு கூட சொல்லலாம். What is A and what is B? So B na, I think they have told it this. It is option B. Okay, mitochondrial matrix and inner mitochondrial membrane. Inner mitochondrial membrane ன்னு சொல்றதோட you can tell it as intermembrane space. Actually B இங்க போட்டிருந்தாங்கன்னா அது வந்து inner mitochondrial membrane ஆயிருக்கும். Okay, next question. During oxidative phosphorylation, protons return to எங்க வந்து protons return ஆகும்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க. Matrix to outside, outside to matrix, in both direction, mitochondria to cytoplasm. These two options are not correct. Okay, எங்க இருந்து எங்க proton move ஆகும்? Okay, again we'll take an example. Imagine this is your inner membrane. Okay, this is your inner membrane, this is your outer membrane. Okay, இது வந்து உங்க matrix. So initially protons எங்க இருந்து எங்க போகுது பசங்களா? From matrix to your intermembrane space. Correct? Later on, during your oxidative phosphorylation, what is happening pasangla? It is returned back. So returned back from outside to matrix. Correct? So protons return to matrix from outside. Idhukku grammar correct ah padichukonga. Return to matrix from outside. Okay? This question was asked in NEET 2016. Answer already irukku, but still we'll discuss. What is oxidative phosphorylation? Already sonna mari, it is the formation of ATP, okay, because of the electrons released during oxidation of NADH and FADH is called oxidative phosphorylation. Okay, this is a very question. Oxidation of one NADH and one FADH gives rise to dash and dash ATP molecule. This we நேத்து படிச்சோம். Okay, one NADH, all of you please make a note of it, gives rise to 3 ATPs. Okay, one FADH 2 gives rise to 2 ATPs. So enna answer pasangla idukku? Option A. Okay, yes, the energetics of glycolysis and Krebs cycle, which we discussed already yesterday. Okay, so நான் நேத்து சொல்லிருப்பேன், ஒரு குளுக்கோஸ்ல இருந்து 38 molecules of ATP வரும், அப்புறம் 6 carbon dioxide வந்து ரிலீஸ் ஆகும்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So electron transport chainல வந்து அந்த NADH is used to produce your ATP and FADH is also utilized to produce your ATP. So மொத்தமா எத்தனை ATP பசங்களா? 38 ATP, and the C6H12O6 in the 6 carbon is released as 6 carbon dioxide. Okay, this we have already discussed yesterday. இதை வந்து நம்ம respiratory balance sheet ன்னு கூட சொல்லுவோம், நம்ம லாஸ்டா படிச்சது. Next, amphibolic pathway. Amphibolic na enna? It is both a catabolism and a anabolism. So catabolism na enna pasangla? It involves breakdown. Anabolism na enna? It involves synthesis. So a reaction which involves both catabolism and anabolism is called amphibolic pathway. Okay ma'am, சரி, நீங்க சொன்னீங்க glucose is getting into your glycolysis, Krebs cycle, etc, ATP synthesis. But what about the rest of the biomolecules? நிறைய biomolecules இருக்கு, proteins இருக்கு, lipids இருக்கு, fats இருக்கு, அதுக்கெல்லாம் என்ன ஆகும்? They also are metabolized by different processes. Okay, and they are converted into any of the intermediates. Okay, say for example your fatty acid will be converted into acetyl-CoA, your protein will be converted into pyruvate. இந்த மாதிரி ஏதாச்சும் ஒரு intermediate குள்ள வந்து அது join ஆயிரும். Okay, so that is what we call it as amphibolic pathway. So the main important metabolism that's happening in every living organism is this: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, ETS, ATP synthesis. Okay, adha thavara extra va nariya metabolism nadakudhu. Amino acid metabolism, beta oxidation, fat metabolism, adellame nadakkum. Ana ultimately enna agona, they will be converted into any of the intermediates of my carbohydrate metabolism, and they will release ATP only in the mitochondria. Okay, அததான் நான் வந்து amphibolic pathway ன்னு சொல்றேன். இந்த சைக்கிளை ரொம்ப கிளியரா புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. This is the picture that's given in your NCERT. Okay, so first let me see here. இங்க பாருங்க, fats, will be broken down into what? Fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, now this fatty acid and glycerol is converted into what? Acetyl-CoA. In the acetyl-CoA enna agum? Krebs cycle enter agudhu. Okay, na sonnalla they will be converted into any of the intermediate. Okay, the glycerol edu convert agudhu? It's converted into dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Okay, this dihydroxyacetone phosphate is converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into pyruvate. Pyruvate is converted into acetyl-CoA. So ultimately every molecule, be it a protein or be it a fat, it is converted into an intermediate of my glycolysis or Krebs cycle. அதனால தான் அதை வந்து நான் amphibolic pathway ன்னு சொல்றேன். Amino acid is converted into what? Pyruvate. Okay, so இதில் எப்படி வந்து உங்களுக்கு question கேட்பாங்கன்னா, first thing, one second, fats are converted into what? Acetyl-CoA. Okay, and then you have amino acids. Amino acids is converted into what? It's converted into pyruvate. Okay, இதுதான் ரெண்டு முக்கியமான questions that can be asked from this particular slide. Okay, so glycerol is converted into PGAL. PGAL na enna? Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Okay, so சுத்தி பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரே ஒரு pathway தான் இம்பார்ட்டண்டா நம்ம பாடியில நடக்குது. அதே இது glycolysis, Krebs cycle, okay, and we also have your ETC. Okay, மிச்ச எல்லாமே ஒரு இன்டர்மீடியேட்டா மாறி நம்ம செல்லுக்குள்ள வரும். Okay, yeah. Now we are coming to the end of the chapter. We are going to discuss something very very important, respiratory quotient. Respiratory quotient என்றது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான question. It is formula. எல்லாரும் இந்த formula note down பண்ணிக்கோங்க. Volume of carbon dioxide produced divided by volume of oxygen used. இல்ல இப்படி கூட எழுதலாம், volume of carbon dioxide evolved divided by volume of oxygen consumed. ரெண்டுமே கரெக்ட் தான். 1 mark question. Define RQ. All your respiratory substrate, be it your glucose, proteins, fats, they all have their own RQ values. Okay, we will discuss what that RQ value is. இது நிறைய வாட்டி நீட் எக்ஸாம்ல கேட்டிருக்காங்க. Okay, RQ is unity. இப்போ உங்க respiratory quotient 1 இருந்துச்சுன்னா அப்போ என்னோட substrate வந்து carbohydrate. Okay, let's say for example glucose. So glucose oxidize ஆனா என்ன ஆகும்? Carbon dioxide, water and ATP form ஆகுது. Correct? What is the formula for RQ? It is the volume of carbon dioxide evolved divided by volume of oxygen consumed. So 6/6, 1. Complete oxidation. Your glucose is completely oxidized. That's why the number is 1. So ரொம்ப முக்கியமான question. What is the RQ for glucose? 1. இதுக்கு யூனிட் எல்லாம் கிடையாது பசங்களா. Okay, it's just a number. Okay, next we will see the RQ for different molecule like fats. Okay, fats, the RQ is less than 1. If it is less than 1, then the substrate is either a fat or a protein. Okay, ஏனா இது வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்டா ஆக்சிடைஸ் ஆகாது. Okay, so inga parunga, this is tripalmitin, which is a fat. You can see the volume of oxygen consumed is 145. The volume of oxygen, carbon dioxide evolved is 102. So 102 by 145. It is 0.7. It is less than 1. Okay, so in the mari or reaction kuduthittu, they can ask you to find out the RQ. Very simple. Carbon dioxide divided by oxygen. 2 mark question. Okay, so what is the RQ for fats pasangla? RQ for fats 0.7. Neatla rombo easy ah kekkalam. What is the RQ for fats? RQ for protein, RQ for carbohydrates. Okay, now let's talk about the RQ for protein. So protein is approximately 0.9. Okay, inga or example eduthirkom, albumin. Albumin is enga irukku pasangala, it's present in your blood plasma. It helps in maintaining your osmotic balance. Okay, so how do you calculate the RQ? It is the volume of carbon dioxide evolved divided by oxygen consumed. You can see the answer is 0.82. Okay, so what is approximately உங்க textbook la கொடுத்திருக்க value வந்து 0.9. So if the RQ is less than 1, then the substrate is either a fat or a protein. So that is what we have to understand here. Clear? Okay. We have some questions, very easy question. RQ is equal to unity in case of carbohydrate, fats, protein. I want each and every one of you watching this video answer this. If you have answered it as carbohydrates, excellent pasangla, keep it up, okay? So padichu mudichachi, respiration nama mudichachi, okay? If you know all these answers. Respiratory quotient may be represented as volume of carbon dioxide evolved divided by oxygen taken in. எப்போமே ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க, இது நிறைய பேர் கன்ஃபியூஷன் வரும். கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு வந்து மேலே, ஆக்சிஜன் வந்து கீழே. கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு நியூமரேட்டரில் வரும், ஆக்சிஜன் வந்து டினாமினேட்டரில் வரும். அது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். RQ of protein rich pulses or 𝒚𝒐𝒖𝒓. 𝒚𝒐𝒖𝒓 na enna? Your pea plants, okay? Is unity, infinity, more than unity, less than 1. RQ is always less than 1. So it is almost 0.9. Okay, for proteins. Yes. So that is about today's session pasangla. So இன்னைக்கு நம்ம செஷன்ல respiration fulla complete பண்ணியாச்சு. I hope you guys have understood electron transport chain, ATP synthesis, amphibolic pathway and respiratory quotient. Okay, நான் செஷனை முடிக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு குவிக்கான question கேட்கிறேன். In amphibolic pathway, proteins are converted into dash before they enter your carbohydrate metabolism. What is proteins converted into in amphibolic pathway is today's question. So please do answer it in the comment section so I get more motivated to bring very interesting simplified videos. Now next panna pora chapter photosynthesis. Okay, I want everyone to give more and more support to this video so I get more motivated and make photosynthesis very easy. Thanks for decoding biology with me. Stay tuned. Let's meet in yet another session. Thank you so much.